Miss South Africa Shudu Masina, gay rights and activist and former Justice of Constitutional Court Edwin and Miss Tasha, an openly transgender woman, are some of the powerful voices that are part of the Constitution Hill's LGBTIQ plus Pride Catalogue, titled 31 Voices for 31 Years of Pride in South Africa. The 31 Years of Pride Catalogue consists of 31 voices from the members of the LGBTQI plus community and allies. It is the brainchild of multi-award-winning transgender activist and TV reality star Yaya Mavundla, who joins us now on Morning Live. Yaya, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, give us background into the LGBTIQ plus Pride Catalogue, 31 Voices for 31 Years of Pride in South Africa.
Thank you so much for that question. I remember when I realized that we commemorate 30 years since Pride started in South Africa. I thought it's so important that we have different voices from different people sharing their changes with actually South Africa to say this is how they feel, this is where we are, but also this is what they wish going forward. And then reach out to different people, of course. I mean, they're glad to have them being part of the catalogue, but also choose for me 31 was so difficult. And hence was the one that we actually then were able to contribute. So it's basically authentic stories, different people, their own way, the way they see and they want to share the stories about pride.
And what is the purpose of the catalogue? What are you trying to achieve?
So for me, I think we come from a space where every time we speak to, especially I'll speak for myself, every time we speak to the government to say this is the issues that we go through, and then you go back and want to address the government says we are not aware. But that all these voices are actually on a government platform. There is no way then the government can come back and say we didn't know, because it is published on their platform. So that's one thing that we want our to achieve. But also to say, as much as we are different, we are one. Because when I was reading all these letters, I actually realized that we actually have a common purpose, as LGBTI people, but also as the allies.
Mm-hmm. How did you select these voices? Who gets to write their letters, and who has written their letters so far?
So all letters at the moment, I have Luazipo Divagach, I have Virginia Makwaza, I have Sazi Charlie, Miss South Africa, Edwin Cameroon, and many other people. But I think it was just a random, randomly. And I reached out to actually more than one, because I knew that there are some people that won't come forward and write the letters, which I'd hoped that they would. But I think, I'm not going to lie, it was such a difficult one, because, then along the way I think, I wish I'd reach out to so-and-so. But it's not possible to help everybody.
Mm-hmm. What have they written about so far?
I read the one that still touches me so much was the one from Shudu, who is Miss South Africa, which then the first letter that we opened with, and her coming from she's an international woman who then shares so much that I, as a transgender woman, go through. She speaks up also her book Shudu and her melody are some of the things that I myself, as a trans girl, when at that time identified as a gay person, I was going through, but also even now that, some of the things that I go through. So especially I realized that, there are so many things that it doesn't just only affect me as a transgender person, but also it affects many other people.
What has been
of course, one story also I read from Utiva Kadach also that was really, really touching. Speaking of the journey as a gay person living in a township in Umlazi, also that was life-changing.
What has been the response from the public, especially the LGBTIQ plus community?
The response is really great. And most people are seeing this very hot because, they say it's very, very important for me that our stories are being told by ourselves, our own way. So a lot of people have been really, really positive about it. You please everybody. I've had just once where I think I interacted with a Joburg Pride organizer who was not so, excited about it, but also, her opinion also matters, and I'm okay with it.
And how much of a say do you have in what they write in the letters?
Absolutely no say. I remember one participant reached out to me to say, Yaya, can you please guide me on how do I then write the letter? I said, I don't want to curate the letter in any way. I don't want you to be responding to questions, because then it means you are speaking in my voice. I wanted people to really write exactly what they feel, where they at, and how they see it fit.
Mm-hmm. And why was it so important that you find different voices to write these letters?
I'm so glad that you're asking this question, because I was actually a friend of mine saying I could have easily wrote the 31 letters on my own, but I think it's important that there is diversity. We understand that as much as we are one, but also people have different experiences, and every experience matter. I always say what I go through as we are is probably the same or Diva Kadaj or whoever is going through. In a friends or with each other, we don't go through same experiences. So it was very, very important that, I find a diverse group of people.
And why is Conhill the perfect host for these letters?
Not even like any further thinking this story further. Equality offices Conhill. We have a constitutional court at Conhill, but also Conhill is actually a government space, which I know for a fact, if these letters are there is no way that government can come back to us and say, oh, we didn't know that this is happening, So I needed to make sure that I find a space where we can hold the government accountable and say, this is in proposal.
Who else must still write a letter going forward?
I have many letters as we speak. So I'm hoping that Steve Lettegele comes through, who is the director of Access Chapter 2. I will also have a letter from Tammy Dish, but also other members are working at the Tammy Dish organization, and many other interesting voices that people I think are really going to love going forward. The stories are just like so touching, So far, the one that I've read has really, really been so moving.
All right. Yaya, thank you so much for talking to us. She's a multi-award-winning transgender activist and reality TV star, Yaya Mavundla, speaking to us about the Pride Catalogue to commemorate 31 years of the LGBTIQ plus Pride in South Africa in partnership with Conhill in Braamfontein.